What's up, y'all? That is a great classic song called Red is the Rose, or if you're of Scottish persuasion, Loch Lomond. Same song, same melody anyway, different lyrics. But that's the tune we're going to be working on today. It's a great classic slow tune, and I got that as a request on my Patreon because I tend to cover a lot of fast tunes, jigs and reels, and that sort of stuff, and there was a need for slower songs, so let's break this one down. If you're new here, my name's Sean, and I teach Irish music on tin whistle and flute. And if you like that kind of stuff, I'd appreciate it if you give me the thumbs up, give me the like, give me the subscribe, if you want to catch some more of these sorts of tunes down the line. But let's start with the basic melody. Now, grab yourself a D whistle, D flute, D low whistle would work just fine. This song is in the key of G, but it fits, obviously, perfectly well on the D instrument, so that's what we're going to use here. And we'll start with the basic melody, nice and slow. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. That's the first half. Hopefully you got through that all right. Go back and run that section again, just make sure you get that nice and locked down here. And then we will carry on with the second half. Now, if you are interested in tabs and sheet music, I do have that available on my Patreon as well. We also cover a deep dive version of this video, get into some of the flute stuff, playing it in different keys. Lots to be had, but for now, let's carry on with the second half of the basic melody, and then we'll get into the ornaments and all sorts of other fun stuff. So here we go, still nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. And that's the whole song. That would repeat as many verses, I suppose, as you need. It may help if you're playing this song to think about the melody. If you're familiar with the song, with the lyrics of it, as you're playing, maybe kind of sing that in your head, kind of keep you on track. I'll play the whole melody all together so you've got something to practice along with here. Still nice and easy tempo. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Success, I hope. Get that good and locked down, nice and smooth, good tempo, good breath control, those kind of fundamentally type things. And then we'll dive in with the ornaments. With slow tunes, my initial reaction is slides. That's the first thing I'm going to want to add to that tune because it's got a bit of a legato-y, slidey kind of a feel. Slow tunes generally have that. Taps work real well in this tune because there are some repeating notes. So in the beginning, nothing too fancy there, sliding into the main note. And a couple of taps to separate. Now you could cut. Works fine. I don't know why, I just kind of prefer the tap, at least maybe the first time through, just because it's a little bit more subtle. Now as I'm coming down that little run there, I'm doing a double cut, which I'm pretty sure I've covered in a couple other videos, but the way that I do it is 2 cuts back to back these 2 fingers in that order. And then if you speed it up, it's a nice little bubbly effect, I think, and it's subtle, and it just kind of gives that E note a little bit more punch, I think. Now, when you do a slide, you could do a cut slide if you wanted to get a little fancier. That's sort of the next level of these ornaments. So I'm cutting first, very deliberately, a very solid, chunky kind of a cut, and then sliding into that main note. And I like using that the second time through, just kind of gives it a bit of a punch or a little bit of a push, maybe going into that second time, that repeat of that line. And get them with a double cut to finish. Same double cut on the second octave, but that slide into the E, that's one of my favorite sounds on the whistle. It's got that really kind of dirty kind of a sound, and you really want to just drag it through as much as you can, because you've got time. It's a slow tune, so you don't have to quickly get to that note. It's got that just stereotypical classic sound. As you're coming back to that second octave E for that kind of repeating bit, you can also do that good dirty slide, and then when you combine it with a tap, it's a really nice balance, I think. That very, very obvious slidey bit with a very subtle tap. And then as you come down the scale, in this case we're going from D to B. You can sort of accidentally bounce off of that A below it and do a slide from underneath. We're kind of used to sliding upwards as we go in the scale, but you can do it coming down the scale too. You just have to add an extra note. I really don't do much on that kind of walk down part, even though that's sort of the most unique part of the song, I guess. Just a quick cut on that B. And it's sort of subdividing that note a little bit. Gives it a bit of a stair-steppy kind of vibe going down that phrase. And you can do the same slidey thing on the E again, coming down the scale. Same kind of subtle slides, subtle cuts. A tune like this doesn't really need a whole lot. You can easily overdo it, I would say. I'm certainly guilty of that from time to time, but hopefully that'll give you at least a decent baseline, fundamental, for how to play this tune, and a couple of things to mess around with. If you're interested in the deep dive, please do check me out on Patreon. The link's down below. Otherwise, I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.